Hi, this is Tim of the 1916 Company. Welcome and thanks for logging on. If you love this watch, email us Team Mosso at the1916company.com for purchase pricing and availability questions concerning this watch. Today we're discussing the third generation Vacheron Constantin Overseas Chronograph. This is a variant launched in 2023. It's the Panda dial in stainless steel. So 42.5 millimeters in diameter. It's thinner than you think at 13.8 millimeters thick. Two different ways to measure it across the wrist. Lug to lug, just the case, it's 50.5 millimeters. But if we include the first end link of the bracelet on either side, the first link, the total rigid distance across the wrist, is a beefier 55.3. But don't give up. It's a big watch, but you don't need a huge wrist to wear it. You'll see it on my 16 centimeter circumference wrist, which wears it quite nicely. Comfortable, not too broad. I'd say if your wrist is my size or larger, game on. It'll look proportional, it'll fit well, ergonomics will be excellent. It's even a little bit easier to fit under a cuff than you might suspect. Two accessory straps, of course, one in leather, one in rubber, with a second deployant clasp to use with those straps if you want to change the look. I find it even wears a bit smaller on the straps than it does on the bracelet. No problem if you want to swap up. It's got a quick release system that's built into the bracelet. Taking a look at the bracelet, look at the intricacy of the finish. This gives up nothing to a Nautilus or a Royal Oak, but not only is it artfully hand-finished to exquisitely intricate detail, but mechanically and from an engineering standpoint, it stands out. Look at that, every single link removable, and they even give you an intermediate size link in case you find yourself in between sizes. And note that on both sides of the bracelet, every single link is removable. Both sides of the clasp feature about a 1.5 millimeter sleeved micro adjust, so you can adjust in or out and fine tune like that. We have a double deployant clasp with twin triggers. You got to press both of them for this to open, so it's not going to fly open during vigorous activity. You've got the Maltese cross, which is the symbol of the company. Got it again inside. You can see it's a repeating motif down the center of the bracelet. It's also the inspiration for the form of the bezel. I'll put this guy back together, show you how easy that is. Just like a car seat belt buckle. The case has expanding bevels over its flank satination on the lug hoods and case top. The plinth underneath the bezel is polished outboard, satinated on its top. The outer faces of the bezel polished. The inner recess is vertically satinated. We have a screw-down crown with the Maltese cross, screw-down pushers, 150 meters water resistant. Panda dial. Vacheron notes that this watch was specifically inspired by classical era motorsports chronographs from the 50s, 60s, and 70s. So you've got that black on silver. Taking a quick look at the lume of this watch. In the dark, it is all blue. We've got a Rejo outboard in gloss black featuring calibrations for the chronograph seconds and fractions of seconds. You've got your running seconds, chronograph hours, chronograph minutes. You've got a lovely little faceted, blasted, and polished frame for the date. The watch does feature a quick set, though it does not feature hacking. Let's make sure we're not in date change danger zone there. That's how the quick set works. We have white gold hands, white gold indices, so they will never tarnish or oxidize. Maltese cross in white gold. Note the fine sunburst graining of the dial, and the fact that the chronograph hands, including the seconds, all feature satin compared to the polish of the standard time-telling hands. God is in the details. Flip it all over. There's what you can see and what you can't see. Of course, the third generation Overseas was the first to have an in-house caliber, display caseback, and Geneva seal movements on an Overseas. So this movement is Vacheron's own, caliber 5200, automatic winding, 54 joules. It's got a 54-hour power reserve, and you will appreciate that it is a large movement that properly fills out this caseback on ceramic bearings, highly efficient, with a 22-karat rotor featuring 4 different hand finishes, no expense spared. It's not 21, it's not 18-karat. Geneva seal, yes, it stands for the quality of fit, finish, and materials on the movement, but look, it's also on the case. It's now a full watch standard. Column wheel, take a look at that column wheel. Its center is the Maltese cross, and its crenellated tops are all mirror finished. It is a column wheel vertical clutch chronograph, which means thanks to the column wheel, pusher feel is excellent. Thanks to the vertical clutch, there's no untoward or excess play in the seconds hand when it engages. Also, because of the vertical clutch, you can leave it engaged and just let it run with no additional wear, tear, or hazard to the movement. The balance, as you can see, features a mirror finished cap around the Kif shock protection, bevels, Côte de Genève, media blast, satin, chiseling, polished screws with chamfered slots in circumference. It is all here, my friends. And of course, the 5-position chronometer and high horology style adjustment. This is a watch that will not disappoint. There's also a soft iron ring that goes around the movement, so though you can't see it, it has 25,000 ampere per meter anti-magnetic capability. This watch does it all. Reach out to Team Mosso at the 1916company.com for purchase and pricing details.